All right, let's talk about restorative. I'm going to do a full breakdown on this amazing strength, restorative, the problematic strength. I'm going to talk about what is restorative, how does it work. I'm going to talk about how to use it to build confidence, how to use it to build and grow relationships, how to use restorative to grow a network marketing or a coaching business, how to use restorative to be more consistent, right? What happens if you have restorative low? What is the absolute worst way to use restorative? And how do we shift back into the good way, right? So I'm going to do a complete breakdown on restorative to show you step by step how do you use this in a way to help you grow your relationships, your health, your business, and so on. So what is restorative? Restorative is, if you go to Gallup, which by the way, we're not going to do a Gallup training here. If you want Gallup training, go to Gallup. I'm actually going to teach you something that's going to make a difference for you. But the restorative will start off with, typically when people have restorative high, they enjoy focusing on what's not working and fixing it. If we were to just summarize it, what's not working and fixing it. So I want you to think about that. That's why it's a problematic strength. It's focusing on what's not working. Now, there's actually a thing before that the restorative strength is about, which I'm going to give you the secret that nobody talks about when it comes to restorative. But first, tell me, do you have it in your top 10? Do you live or work with somebody who has it in their top 10? Or is it low for you? Low for me means between like 28 and 34. Let me know if you have it high or low and where. And then also let me know during this video, is any of this resonating for you and helping you? I want to hear your takeaways and feedback as I share this content. This is going to be pretty in-depth. So here's the secret about restorative that nobody talks about, but it is true in every single person that has restorative. When a person has restorative in their top 10, the reason why they focus on what's not working is because they have a vision. You see, restorative is a practical, is a practical strength, but it's futuristic. So this is the thing that nobody ever talks about when it comes to restorative. Hey, Dondra, how are you? It's good to see you. This is the thing nobody talks about restorative. Restorative is actually a practical version of the futuristic strength. Futuristic is like having a vision of the future and being inspired by it and wanting to, create something amazing that no one's ever seen before. But restorative is a practical version of that, where it's saying, this is what it potentially could be or should be. Because restorative is also a judgy strength. So it's a practical strength. It's about looking at what a thing should be. It's judgy. And it's also internal. And the reason why I call restorative an internal strength, because it's coming from inside of them. Inside of them, they believe it should be this way. Thus, they talk about why it's not. The restorative focus on the future by talking about how the foundation of it is cracked and needs to be fixed. This is why when restoratives come to you with things and they're talking about what needs to be fixed or whatever, it's because beyond that or behind that, they have a belief or a vision of how it should be. So when a person with high restorative comes to you and says, this is broken, this is not working, it needs to be fixed, say, okay, before I ask you to tell me how it should be fixed, what I'd like to know from you is, what would this look like or feel like or be like if it was fixed? What is your vision of what this could be? And then like the restoratives will be very energized because most restoratives don't know that. Most people with high restoratives don't know that they're actually visionaries. They don't look at it that way. They just go, this is broken, it needs to be fixed. But when you have them express to you what it is they want or how they would love to see it, how it should be because they're judgy, then you'll actually see that restorative is not negative like it's commonly referred to. People typically react to people with restorative strengths negatively, as if they're being negative. This is why people with high restorative tend to have positivity low, or vice versa, okay? So restorative, that's what restorative is at its core, right? It's a strength that focuses on the problem of what a thing isn't where it should be. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about this whole thing. This is how you build confidence. This is how you do all the relationships and all that. Dondra's watching. Dondra says, great advice. Ask questions, of course, always, right? Oh, great take. Yay, Dondra, I'm glad this is helpful. Okay, let's talk about how does restorative build confidence. All right, now, here's what's really important. Remember that the fundamental of building confidence is not looking in a mirror and going, you're great. Fundamental of building confidence isn't making a whole bunch of money. The fundamental of building confidence isn't about doing something that other people would say, wow, you're really good at that. And confidence doesn't come from other people, okay? Confidence comes from you seeing, right? Seeing a result come as because you have applied a strength. Let me say that again. Confidence comes when you see a result that comes from you consciously applying a strength. So if you say, all right, I'm enough and I need to go prove it to myself, right? And you go do something and you say, I'm going to use my restorative strength to go fix something. And then it fixes and then it looks great. And other people go, wow, you really fixed that. That is how you build confidence. And so how we do this with restorative is you talk and you communicate. You got to be a better communicator. Restoratives are terrible at communicating this, but say, hey, I'd like to share with you of what this could be or should be, right? What this could be. And if this one thing is fixed or adjusted, can I tell you what this could be if it's fixed or adjusted? And if you can come at people with that question, then the restoratives, we'll call it your seemingly negative opinion will be far better accepted. And when you see people going, I'm interested in your feedback of how this could be improved, that will start to build confidence. Do you understand? That will help you build confidence. That's how you do it. So if you're trying to, let's talk about how to use restorative to grow relationships. Remember, this is a fundamental rule of relationships. No one likes to be fixed, especially by you restorative people. Nobody wants to be fixed. Don't you dare come to me. I'm sure I have plenty of things that need to be fixed, but you are not the one to do it. You are not the fixer of the people. So if you want to build relationships, you got to build it on 4 principles: trust, compassion, right? Hope and stability. Show up. None of those things are revolved around if you would just do what I tell you, your whole problems would go away. No one cares. No one wants to be fixed by you. So, but what they do want to do is when you're building relationship is trust you. And so what you want to do as a great negotiator or a great relationship builder is care what people care about. Care what people are interested in. Show up for people consistently without being, and of course, be compassionate. Of course, they have bad habits. Well, so do you, but you don't need to point them out and you don't need to fix them, right? So be compassionate. Meet people where they are. Create hope by doing the one thing restoratives hate to do is admit that they've made mistakes and being vulnerable. So the more a restorative is cares about what other people cares about, give people a break for where they are, shares vulnerable stories of their own mistakes, and consistently is present when able, right? You build strong relationships. And restoratives, this is the fundamental foundation of building strong relationships. And if you're not doing any one of those 4 things, then use your restorative strength to fix you. That's the only one you should be trying to fix. Now, speaking of which, let's talk about how to use restorative to build a network marketing or coaching business. Remember that the thing that I love about network marketing and coaching is they both deal in self-development and a product. So if you have coaching, you're selling your process, right? Your process is the product that you're selling to help people get a result. If you have network marketing, you sell the network marketing products that is a process to help people get a result. If you're selling network marketing, you're also selling the network marketing system, right? To get a result, which is what? Make more money, right? So pick which one of these 3 you are selling right now. Are you selling the network marketing system? Are you selling network marketing products? Or are you selling a coaching system or step-by-step flow? Like me, I love both. So what I do is I help people see the one system untied all of those which is your strengths. So anytime anybody works with me to grow their network marketing business, we start with their strengths. Anytime anybody wants to work with me in their coaching business, we start with their strengths. So the first step is always, what are your strengths? And what are the fundamentals? So when you're building a network marketing business or a coaching business, restorative is about coming in and saying, this is how it should be. Remember, it's judgy. So if you're going to be judgy, then use that and say, this is how network marketing businesses should be. This is how network marketing products should be. This is how coaching programs should be. And you stand for those. So when you're a restorative, you communicate to people what your rules are, right? So let's say if I had restorative high, which I don't, it's not me at all. But if I did have restorative high, I would say that when people are growing network marketing businesses and coaching businesses, they should start with who they are and what do they truly care about. Then make money. That's how I would, if I was restorative, I would say that's how it should be. And you come to my trainings and my programs or my groups or whatever to make sure that your strengths and who you are and what you care about is first and always first. Dondra says, ooh, that's good. Thank you, Dondra. I'm glad this is resonating for you. I appreciate it. It makes me happy. So you start with your core value around how things should be, the foundation of things, right? So you can even say, I believe that health products, if you sell a health product, I think health products should be easy to use, easy to understand, and natural. I believe they should be that way. That's why I use blank products, right? I believe network marketing businesses should be simple and easy for anyone who has a passion to be able to do. You don't have to be some kind of big influential leader that does a lot of Facebook Lives and waves their hands around. You don't have to be that. I don't believe you have to be that, right? So when you come to my trainings and my groups and my programs, that's the rules you get. If I had restorative high, that's what I would say. All right, so how does restorative, if you have restorative high, how do you get organized? Now, remember that restorative is about foundations, right? And foundations are built on systems. Now, the good news is restorative is an executing strength. That means it begins with a step-by-step process. Then it becomes an influencing, relationship-building, strategic thinking strength. So it's like, all right, what is the foundation of the system of my organization? How should my desk look? How should my daily operation be? How should it go? And you honor that rule with everything you do. So if you have restorative high and you're struggling in the organization world right now, stop, look at your systems and how you live your life and start judging them and saying they should be this. So I'm going to put in the work to get as close to that as I can. Speaking of which, being judgy of yourself is not a bad idea. It's just beating yourself up when you don't make it. That's where the bad idea is, because when you're judgy about yourself, you're setting a high standard, but when you don't achieve it and you beat yourself up, that's the problem. You see, the reason why you set a high standard is so you have something worthy of pursuing, but you never actually achieve. So when you have something worthy of pursuing and never actually achieve, this pursuit of greatness is where you experience success. Not in the beating yourself up because you didn't reach the unrealistic goal. All right, so I'm hoping this resonates so far. For those of you with restorative high, is this helping? All right, what's the worst way to use restorative? And then we'll talk about what happens if you have it low. The absolute worst way to use restorative is to open your mouth before somebody has given you permission. I know that you probably don't like that. But let me explain what I mean. What I mean by that is restoratives tend to open their mouths a little too quickly when they see things aren't working. And they'll say, this isn't working, this is broken, and it needs to be fixed right now. That helps no one. What does help people is to say, hey, I see something. Does anybody else see what I see? And when you do that, ears open up. Right? If you come out and say things are broken, blah, 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 shut ears, no one cares. No one wants to hear your judgment of what's right or what's wrong, even though you know everything, right? So when you have restorative high, stop telling people how it's wrong and start saying, hey, I see something. Does anybody else see what I see? Or would anybody like my opinion on what I'm seeing? Because it could be very helpful. And that's it. Start there. When you have restorative low, forget about what's broken. What's broken is not relevant. What's not working is not relevant. You'll want to focus more on what excites you. Like if you have activator high or individualization high or positivity high, like I mentioned. These are typically 3 strengths that people will have in their top like 12 or 13 if restorative is between 28 and 34. So let me know if that's you. Do you have any of those 3 in your top 10 or anywhere in your top 12 or 13 and restorative is between 28 and 34? All right. So there you go. Now, if you're interested in mastering this concepts of how to understand strengths, message me and I'll share with you some information that'll help you do that. I love helping people master the ability to mentor others in strengths. Okay, now that we're done talking about restorative, what are your takeaways? What is something that you gathered from this that you didn't know or you really appreciate hearing? Maybe it's a reminder of something. Let me know in the comments. Do you have restorative in your top 10? Do you know someone who does? Do you have restorative in the bottom, let's say 28 to 34, right? Does understanding restorative help you have more gratitude that it's low? It's definitely something that a lot of people have low, and it's not really something that most people want high because they look at it like it's this judgy, negative strength. But the reality is it's extremely important and needed. And so if you have restorative high, remember that, my friend, that you have something valuable to offer. Just get really good at offering it to other people. So with that being said, Dondra, thank you so much for all your amazing quotes. I'm watching all your quotes. This is really cool. You said restorative low, individualization and activator at 8 and 10, of course. Super good info to help team members who have restorative high and get frustrated easily. Yeah, anytime a person has a judgy strength high, I'd say at least 4 or more judgy strengths in their top 10. Irritation, frustration with others getting triggered is going to be very common, and we want to teach people how to stay in their business. So with that being said, have an awesome day, my friends. We'll see you all on the next video. What strength do you want me to cover next? And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.